These are the waiver wire pickups for week 14. Number 1 on the list is Isaac Guerendo. It was a tough day for the 49ers yesterday. Not only did they lose Christian McCaffrey, but they also lost Jordan Mason. Both running backs were placed on IR today, leaving Isaac Guerendo as the top running back in San Francisco. Guerendo could be a league winner. He looked good in his one game with extended action, which was in week 8 against Dallas, where he saw 17 touches for 102 yards and 1 touchdown. And if Jordan Mason's usage and production from weeks 1 through 7 was any indication, Guerendo should have some strong performances. Mason averaged 14.5 points per game during that span, and he was the RB10 in PPR. Number 2 on the list is Adam Thielen. Thielen turned back the clock today. In his second game back from IR, he caught 8 passes for 99 yards and 1 touchdown. He looks spry, routinely making acrobatic catches, and it seems as though his hamstring injury is firmly in the rear view. With Bryce Young getting better with each week that passes, Thielen could finish the year strong and could be a PPR cheat code down the stretch. Number 3 on the list is Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Westbrook-Ikhine is still only rostered in 17% of leagues, and he has scored in 7 of his last 8 games, and he hit pay dirt twice today. At this point, he has to be picked up and started everywhere until he cools off. While his floor is as low as it gets, he did see 8 targets today, the most he's seen all year, and he's on a Titans team that is going to be in bad scripts more often than not, giving him plenty of opportunity to produce in garbage time. Number 4 on the list is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Similar to Westbrook-Ikhine, Valdes-Scantling stayed hot today, extending his scoring streak to 3. And over his last 3 games, he has 7 receptions for 232 yards and 4 scores. And while his floor is frighteningly low, he is getting a lot of deep ball looks. And as long as Derek Carr is healthy, that should continue. He's definitely worth adding in most formats and should be started this week against the Giants. Number 5 on the list is Demarcus Robinson. Robinson finished today with 2 receptions for 49 yards and 1 touchdown, his second score in as many weeks. He did suffer a hand injury late in the game, but the severity is unknown. But if he is able to suit up, he can be considered as a touchdown-dependent WR3 in deeper leagues. He quietly has 7 touchdowns on the year and has been a bit more involved recently, giving him a little bit more juice than your typical streamer. If he isn't able to suit up, Tutu Atwell would see the biggest boost, although he would be a very risky pickup. Number 6 on the list is Brandin Cooks. Cooks returned to the lineup after missing the last 7 games with a knee infection. He was forced into a larger role because CeeDee Lamb re-aggravated his shoulder injury. He ended up finishing the day with 3 receptions for 16 yards and 1 touchdown, and if Lamb isn't able to get right, Cooks may see an expanded role. It was obvious that Cooks and Cooper Rush weren't on the same page for most of the day, but he still saw 7 targets, and he should see a decent amount of targets moving forward, even if Lamb is able to suit up. Number 7 on the list is Parker Washington. Washington had 6 receptions for 103 yards and 1 touchdown, and he also had a 2-point conversion, and he nearly had a second score. What jumps out to me is the fact that he had 12 targets. While the Jaguars are impossible to trust, he did see most of his production with Mac Jones under center. And with Trevor Lawrence possibly lost for the year, this type of target volume makes Washington an intriguing pickup in deep PPR leagues. Number 8 on the list is Juwan Johnson. Taysom Hill suffered what appeared to be a season-ending knee injury, leaving Johnson and Foster Moreau as the top 2 tight ends in New Orleans. Johnson finished the day with 5 receptions for 36 yards, but he did see 7 targets, the most he's seen all year. I would expect him to play ahead of Foster Moreau, but he's still only an add in much deeper leagues as a touchdown-dependent TE2. Number 9 on the list is Chris Rodriguez. What a week for Rodriguez. He went from being waived to being re-signed to the practice squad to being elevated to the 53-man roster. And then he saw some serious playing time today, with the Commanders needing depth after Brian Robinson was nursing an ankle injury and Austin Eckler went on IR with a concussion. Rodriguez was asked to step up. He finished the day with 13 carries for 94 yards and 1 touchdown, which is definitely impressive, but most of his carries came in the second half when the game was well out of hand. He also played behind Jeremy McNichols, but this is a type of performance that may earn him some more carries moving forward. Number 10 on the list is Kimani Vidal. When J.K. Dobbins went down with a knee sprain last week, it was expected that Gus Edwards would take over the starting and early down role in LA. While that was and will likely remain the case moving forward, it appears as though Vidal has taken over the number 2 duties. Vidal finished the day with a meager 4 carries for 20 yards, but this was kind of an odd game. And moving forward, he should be involved on most pass-catching downs. And if Edwards struggles, he may actually eat into the early down work as well. At this point, he's more of a stash in deep PPR leagues, but he could become a must-start player very quickly. Those are the waiver wire pickups for Week 14. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and let me know which players you think we should pick up in the comments below.